helpuspod.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Help Us Understand podcast. I am Zach.
And I'm Josh.
We're here today with a lot of things to talk about, a lot of questions, a lot of confusion, frustration.
We got a new president, or we're getting a new president.
We do. Yeah, we have a new president. I don't know how everybody's feeling about that who listens to this podcast.
Well, not new.
You know, he's
back.
not new. Yeah, he's coming back.
Returning president.
Back again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of things happen in the world, a lot of things to talk about, and people, the public have given us so much to discuss.
I mean, I just don't, here's the thing. Despite what political side you're on, I think we can all agree that people are reacting to election results in a way that has never happened in society before.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine, when Nixon became president, people were like, and just wigging the fuck out. That just didn't happen.
They were like, oh.
They got up and they went to work. And
shit,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, the reactions is what's getting me. It's like children overreacting.
It's like literal Hitler has just arisen from the dead.
Which is a whole nother part of the topic.
Oh, I know.
But before we actually get into the political topic, here's something that I wanted to bring up. And I know that you have a different feeling like this about this than I do.
Fair.
Why put a campaign banner or sign in your yard? Why is it needed for you to let other people know who you're voting for? Why do people do that? I've never done that. Not once.
Yeah, I'm maybe more aligned with you than you realize. I don't think that there is a need. I mean, I think some people on busy streets maybe put signs up to capture those who live around them to say, you're not alone with who you're voting for.
But I mean, is that but is that the mindset? I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the person that lives in that house. So they have the sign, and to me, all I can come up with is, look at me, look who I'm voting for.
Kind of. I mean, I think maybe it's they're proud to represent who's going to represent them. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's about pride either. I just don't know.
I think it's different for everybody.
And it's not persuading anyone. I've never driven by a house and saw a sign and was like, I saw 5 more than I saw the other one. I think I'm going to go that way.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, to me,
I think it's more comfort of like, if you saw more signs of one than the other, it's going to kind of put you in a position of, God bless. Everybody's voting for this one person. I wasn't thinking about voting for them. I'm kind of maybe should I even bother voting? I mean, some people, your brain and my brain are not easily persuaded. Most people, as we see, are very easily persuaded. So if their neighbor's voting for someone, they might go, "Why are you voting for them?" and ask them, and then they'll go, "Well, here's why I'm voting for that person." So
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that always just confused me. Like, I've just never got that.
But to your point, if you wanted to proudly represent anything out there on the lawn, then why don't people just put like Pokemon banners on their front yard, like things that they enjoy?
But see, that's what I mean. Yeah, but I bet you there are people that do that.
I'm sure. Yeah,
like there might be a huge Charizard fan.
I mean,
have a
I'll probably
flag.
get a bunch of shit for this, but I don't have an American flag hanging outside of my house. I'm a proud American.
But see,
I have a Viking ship flag because that's what I enjoy.
But see, that's another thing. I don't understand. We've gotten into arguments about this before. I don't understand the importance of any flag. Yes, a country or a state or a group of people can have a flag. I just don't understand why people are so sensitive about it.
Because
it's literally a piece of fabric with designs on it.
It's a representation.
That's fine. It's a representation, but why are people get so upset about it?
Okay,
I don't get that.
It's no different than the Bible. People in religion treat the Bible as a representation of what they're supposed to follow in faith. Therefore, the American flag is a representation of what they want to follow as a freedom-fighting American. Gotcha, bitch.
No, that still doesn't make any sense to me. I'm an American. I'm proud to be American, but at the same time, I don't feel like putting like, for example, I don't know of any other country in the world. Now, everybody flies their flags and will wave them in times of a patriotic time, like a holiday or something. Yeah. But we over here do
election time, though, too.
But election time, but it's all the time, though. It's all the time.
I know.
It was all the time. Like, people get like, okay, now granted, my political views over the past 5 or 10 years has changed drastically. Yeah. I'm older, I'm wiser. I've realized, grumpier, I'm grayer, and stuff like that. But at the same time, regardless of what side, I don't understand the fragility of either side.
Yeah.
Like, People on the left obviously get really upset and offended very easily. People on the right lose it over stupid trivial shit, like someone kneeling during the national anthem or something happening to the flag. And I get that might be very important to some people, and I'm sure that I'll get a whole bunch of backlash. If we had any listeners, I'm sure I'd get all kinds of shit about that. But I'm not saying that it's a good thing or you should. I just don't get, why would you ruin your day? Why would you get that angry about something that it might mean something to you,
right?
And keep that. That's your thing. That's cool,
right?
But I just don't understand. Like,
I partly understand where you're coming from because I'm trying to think of myself. If I had an American flag on my front porch and I was proudly waving it, and it was a big ass flag, and somebody stole it overnight, I'm going to be a little upset and be like, "What the fuck? Somebody stole my flag."
Well, that's your thing,
right? It's my personal property, but I think there are people out there who would be like, "It's those fucking immigrants," and they would immediately, but really, they would immediately go after their instinctive against freedom fighting America. Who would have done this? Yeah. And they would go either racist or hateful or something instead of just going, "Man, some stupid fuck stole my flag." You know what I mean? I think they take it more personal than they probably should.
I mean, I think a lot of people take that kind of stuff personally. Like, I just don't understand the need to let everybody know, like, I am patriotic. I'm very blessed. You good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
That was a real big build up.
That was build up for nothing.
But I mean, it just I don't know. And the fact that people get so upset when people wear the flag. Did you see that video? I think it was in South Carolina. Now, granted, I think the state does have some kind of law where you're not supposed to wear any clothing or anything that's affiliated with a particular party or a candidate or something. And they weren't going to let him vote. Now, as far as the law goes, okay, it's a law. It may not make sense. To me, it makes no fucking sense. You can show up wearing a clown costume if you wanted to vote, right? But I mean, that makes, like, they really were like getting that upset over a shirt, a t-shirt, a piece of fabric that had a picture of Trump or fucking MAGA or some shit. Who cares? I'm sorry.
He's getting so loud. He's getting upset.
I don't mean to. Oh, yeah. But see, this is something that just really gets right up my ass. Like, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I mean, okay, so here's, I felt the whole thing about the way people wearing American flags. Because I have shirts over generations of me wearing clothes. Yeah. I have shirts that have American flags on them. Mostly I have them for 4th of July or just to wear around the house.
I have never once had a shirt with an American flag on it.
I could claim that that's unpatriotic of you, but I'm not.
But you know me.
But like,
I just wear random shirts all the time anyways. I never even look at what's on my shirt.
But when it was close to the election time and I was going out in public, in the back of my mind, I did have, oh shit, I'm wearing this shirt today. Is somebody going to try to be fucking stupid and come up to me and try to start an argument? So you're wearing a flag shirt. Like that. And I've never had that feeling.
And that's equally as stupid. Yeah. The fact that you have to fear that is a fucking problem.
I didn't fear it. I was just
not fear,
it was in the back of my mind of like, am I going to have to fucking deal with this today? Right. Because I was going to Walmart, Kohl's. I was going places that there's a lot of people.
There's American places.
And I was like, I've never felt like that before. Yeah. I shouldn't have to feel like that.
No.
So I don't.
But see, I'm kind of on the same wavelength. But the way I look at it is I shouldn't have to feel that way, and I'm not going to fucking feel that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this guy on TikTok who recently has been walking around, I guess, in known liberal areas wearing a MAGA hat and getting the reactions of people. And that just...
you're instigating. That's all you're doing.
But even so, though, it's intriguing to me as a human response. Like, I'm fascinated by the fact that people, their personalities and their moods can change so slightly because of a hat. A hat!
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, it absolutely...
Like, let people, like... There's a lot of things that you could get mad at for people wearing, but you don't because it's none of your fucking business.
Well, but it's not even. It's not even that though. Like,
well, let me ask you a question. If you were in Walmart and you had Rowan, I was like, hey, take Rowan to Walmart.
Right.
Go food shopping.
Yeah.
What would you deem someone as completely not reasonable that you had to address it that they were wearing or not wearing in front of a child?
Someone naked.
Fair, right?
Right.
There's not much other than just them being naked that you would be like, hey, what's going on? Or, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And granted, if you've ever been to Walmart at 3 or 4 in the morning, you'll see a shirt that says, like, I dig pussy or something. I don't know. Yeah. People don't fucking care.
No, they don't. And but so at the same time, it's like, if that stuff doesn't bother people in the first place, wearing whatever Democrat or Republican Party piece of clothing you want to should not offend the other one. It's their personal opinion.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just know... I mean, I don't know if we ever have any European listeners, please correct me. But I don't know of any European countries where people walk around with shirts of pictures of their favorite presidential candidate.
They probably do nowadays. Well, it's prime ministers. Let's be clear. It's not
Whatever.
president.
Well, still, the prime minister candidate. What the fuck ever. I mean, I just don't. I think for some reason America is so. Just I don't know. They identify so much with their patriotism and with. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people think that if you're not patriotic, then you must be less than American. No, I just don't understand the passion behind it. I'm very proud to live in this country. I love being an American.
That's the problem. And this goes back to one of our other episodes where people have gotten soft. We have let people get away with their opinions publicly too much.
Right.
And that has now pushed the barrier so that both sides get frustrated when the other side represents what they don't represent.
There's representing, and there's having an opinion. But here's the thing, though. Right. What I don't get about it, the exact same thing is of wearing a Trump a Trump shirt or a Harris shirt or something. Yeah. It's the same thing of going up and being like, excuse me, sir, I really like Coca-Cola better than Pepsi.
Cool. Thanks.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you need to go up? Why do you need people to know who you're supporting? Why do they need to know that? Why do you need other people to know who you're voting for?
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like, all right, you have a minus the bear shirt, a t-shirt. Okay. I'm just saying you have like one of the, it's like a new one. It's
that's a band, by the way.
It's a new one. It's a great shirt. It
right.
has a lot of graphics on it. Maybe they're not all appropriate, but it represents the band and you like it, you're going to wear it.
Sure.
Someone comes up to you and they're asking you about your shirt. Hey man, what is that? And you tell them, oh cool, thank you, appreciate it. You start to feel like the representation of your shirt is semi-enjoyable because you're sharing what you enjoy with other people.
No, I'm wearing it for me. That's where I think we differ. I'm wearing it for me. Me and you. Now, this is a whole nother episode. Just to keep it as short as possible, because we got a lot more stuff to talk about. I don't understand and have never understood tattoos. I don't get it.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Because we've talked about it, so I just don't understand it. I might just be stupid, and it's something in my brain that just doesn't connect, and I just don't get it. But it's the same kind of thing, though. Right. Why do people get tattoos? And it's always like, well, I like this thing. I like butterflies, or I like this band, or something like that. But at the same time, it's like, but you can like that thing without having to ink it on your skin. I don't get that. Like, by putting it on your body, is that somehow enhancing your love for this thing? Now, the only thing that I would kind of understand in regards to tattoos is if someone got a tattoo in an area where nobody could see it. It was just for them. I kind of get that.
Maybe.
That means that that's a little closer to their heart because you're not going to show it to somebody. Okay. But the majority of people have it on their arms, on their legs, a place where they can lift up their shirt and be like, you want to see my tattoo? And I'm not getting on with people with tattoos. Of course not. I have many friends and know a lot of people that have tattoos, family members that have tattoos, no problem. But it's going back to the same thing. What is it in human nature that makes people need to show everybody else what they're into or what they support?
Pride.
Is it pride?
It's pride.
It's just pride?
It's pride. You're proud of what you have. You're proud of your thought. You're proud of your opinion. And I want people to know that I'm proud of what I think. That's exactly what that is.
That's sad. I'm sorry. That's incredibly sad.
That goes back to us letting people share their opinion too much.
Well, no, but
instead
again,
of blending in with a society that, for the most part, doesn't have a lot that's standing out specifically.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
But you can't say that. But you can't say there's such a thing as sharing too much of an opinion. That's freedom of speech.
Right.
Right. And again, I'm not saying that people can't wear these shirts. They can't have those tattoos. They have every right to, and I think they should. I, for some reason, just have my entire life have never understood it.
But see, you and I have had this conversation. I think that there should be some sort of limit on freedom of speech, not to the extent of shutting down your freedom of speech like on social medias and things.
Now, remind me, what was the I can't remember this conversation.
More or less, we should have some sort of restrictions out there for freedom of speech. If you are trying to persuade people under the age or under the influence,
that
shouldn't be allowed. That should be deemed illegal.
What, like trying to
convince them to follow an ideology or something?
Warp minds that are still malleable, as they say.
Now, you could talk to adults all you want. That's fine.
Right.
But that's what I mean as far as like, yes, freedom of speech.
Well, but that is illegal, I think. That's called indoctrination. And it's also
not anymore.
And it's also a form of what do they call it? When you're grooming.
But that's what's happening all every day.
Yeah,
nowadays,
it is happening.
You know?
Yeah, and I do think it needs to be looked at because, I mean, certainly with my kids. I mean, I don't have kids, my hypothetical kids. But I mean, if I did, well, hell, even your son or our other friend's daughter, you know, I would have a problem if I found out that they were going somewhere and being taught something completely radical.
Right.
You know?
You guys see this stick? It's a god.
Well, there might be a little merit to that, you know. The stick, the wood god, the stick god.
The wood god.
God of wood.
God of wood.
I mean, I don't think anything like that would ever happen because I think that is going into changing, you know, a basic human right. But at the same time, I do agree to some kind of legislation to limit, I mean, at least something like that. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, even if, well, I do care. I mean, there's certain things that in my opinion, that is worse than, I mean, it's a whole nother fucking conversation. But I don't know if they would ever change the amendments. Change the Constitution, that is.
I mean, it would be a really specific. It would be a hard, like, your freedom of speech is gone, or you can have it, but with super, like, limited limits.
I think it should be kind of like how it was when we were kids. Yes, you have rights, but they stop at the door when you go to school. Yeah. So you have freedom of speech, and you can say certain things, but when you walk past this threshold into the school, you can't say what the fuck you want to.
Right.
You know, and I think it still kind of should be that way.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's kind of like an unspoken rule, and it could even be part of the school system's policies.
But see, that again, that boils down to pride. It's you're proud of what you want to say and how you want to say it, which is exactly why we're seeing people online lose their fucking mind over the election.
Now, how many of those videos do you think are real, and how many of them do you think are strictly for views and clicks?
I don't know. Honestly,
because
I don't know.
Even I get people that I get there's one side that is upset and disappointed and stuff, and I was looking at some of the reactions and I was just like, this is clear. And here's the thing: if it's for views, that's fucking brilliant. Yeah, because it was getting views.
Yeah,
Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and all those right wing guys were watching them on their channel, and that's giving them even more views.
Right.
You know.
So I mean, that's props. If it's seriously, if it's an undercover, like, watch, I'm gonna blow up.
Right.
Props to you.
I mean, hell,
you look like a dunce, but seriously. You know what? Great job.
Yeah,
I mean,
but the ones that were specific where they were talking. Have you heard about this whole
4B movement?
4B thing?
Yeah. Good. Go ahead.
I mean,
nobody fucking needs it.
Well, I mean, it's just it doesn't. Here's my thing. What is that going to accomplish?
A better society. What's it going to accomplish? It's going to actually improve.
Well, here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
It's people that are against abortion control and all that kind of stuff. But then they're flat out just not having sex, which is a form of birth control.
Yeah, I don't like, and that helps me understand the lack of logic that happens in some people's brains where
emotions, man. I think people just get so emotional. I'd like to think that at least a third of the people who posted those videos after a couple days watched them was like, damn, man, I overreacted.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the screaming, the crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, any presidency, it wouldn't bring me to tears and want to go outside of my house and scream. I might be frustrated.
Yeah, but only way that I would react that way was like, okay, so Trump won. So starting tomorrow, all men between the ages of 19 and 25 who have brown hair are going to have to go outside, and the government's going to forcibly remove one of your toenails. I'd probably get pretty fucking mad and be pretty upset.
Why? You said to 25. You're way over that. You're fine.
Yeah, but still, that's just okay. Well, God knows what my punishment would be.
Yeah, really.
Well, I mean, it's just, but those reactions is just okay.
Right.
In full disclosure, I did vote one way or the other. I don't like Trump. I don't like his fucking personality. I don't like his fucking attitude. I don't like Kamala Harris. She seemed incredibly faked and just no authenticity at all with her. So despite that, I did vote one way or the other. But here's the thing: both sides overreact, but in different ways.
Yes.
In different ways. So the left side was coming in saying stuff like,
"There's going to be internment.
I'm afraid to go to sleep tonight because I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow as a slave." What?
Yeah, for real.
Like I remember, and even when she said that,
excuse me?
even when I saw the video, I was like, okay, there must be some kind of video somewhere or talk to someone somewhere that she must actually think that. Nothing was ever said like that.
No, not at all.
And then all these people talking about they're boycotting men and stuff because we want to control them. Where?
No.
Where is that?
None of that. That was never said.
I tried to give the benefit of the doubt to all sides, and I looked and dug and stuff just to clear it. And I can't find anything like that.
Here's the root of all of the problems on both sides: the media.
Yeah,
you're right. I've seen videos of the media twisting the words coming out of the candidate's mouth.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
To instill fear into each party. There were people, I watched one, and I don't know if it was on The View or something, but they were like, Trump is going to put us all in a camp.
Yeah.
And we are never going to make it out. He is never going to ever be able to get out of presidency.
Right.
He's going to remain there for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And I was going, what?
What?
How are you even legally allowed to say blatant lies like that?
Which I do
on
think that
TV?
needs to be looked at. But even the campaign commercials. My mother was watching, and she even said something to me because she doesn't really watch any of the political stuff. Yeah. So if she has a question, she'll come to me and be like, "Hey, is this really the case?" So it was a Kamala campaign commercial talking about Trump is going to make abortions illegal and all this and all these other facts and stuff. And my mom was like, "Well, that's just not right." And I said, "Mom, excuse me." I said, "Mom," I was like, "Mom, that's not." I said, "Here's what he actually said." And I said, "I have the interviews. I can show you. You can look it up." Damn. Sorry. It's dinner time. It's dinner time. Sorry. All he wants to do is take it away from the federal courts and give it back to the states.
It was already there in the first place.
And he said that he wants to do the exact same thing that Ronald Reagan did, meaning there's exceptions.
Yes.
There's exceptions to that law, to that rule,
yes.
not law, to that rule.
Murder,
rape,
yes.
incest.
Yeah.
You know, if it's going to affect the woman medically. So where is this whole taking women's rights away? What can women not do today that they weren't able to do last week?
I watched one of the most brilliant, and to be fair, we're men. This is from a man's perspective. So I'll cover all of what we say by saying that you can judge us however you feel. We are men. Oh, well. You know,
just in case it wasn't blatantly obvious, but we know that you're not supposed to assume nowadays. So yes, we are both.
Yeah, there you go. But I saw a video and it was a girl. I don't know how old she was, but she was not white. She was maybe Arab, possibly.
Okay.
And she was going, "Fuck all you white women, white bitches, thinking that your rights will get taken away." She said, "People in every other country, the women can't vote.
They can't
They
drive,
can't get dressed. They can't drive.
learn.
They're not allowed to leave their house. They are so limited. They can't even spend money. They have no rights. And you have almost every right in the world. And you're complaining about this, saying your rights are good." She said, "Fuck every one of you."
And they want to scream male privilege, white privilege, all that bullshit. No.
You should be fighting for the rest of the world, not America. Then when the rest of the world is all on the same page, you can fight whatever fight you want to.
Talk about it, right?
But the women in the U.S. are isolated. Every other women in a lot of other countries in the world are treated like garbage, and it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. I don't disagree with that. But it's like, bitch, you do have a lot of rights. The American citizens, male, female, whatever, we have rights. Mm-hmm. Most other countries are limited.
Right.
Like, you can't go out and just go to work. You have to go through a government official to get to your job.
I saw Meryl Streep. She was doing an interview talking about the same kind of thing, and I don't typically, watch the whole things, but she said something in the interview. She was like, "Here's what's messed up. A woman cannot legally walk through a park in these certain countries. A squirrel has more rights than women do."
Yeah.
And that's fucked up.
That is.
If you're going to get enraged about some shit, get in, and you want to be supportive of all women, get mad at that shit.
Right.
Not this whole whatever the media's telling you that they're taking your rights away. And apparently now every single woman on the planet was planning on having an abortion, because that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, basically.
Like, I mean, everybody.
It boils down to, I hate that this election was so dragged down by just the abortion topic. Like, there are so many other things that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
There's wars happening.
Yeah.
There's a financial crisis that we're on the cusp of. Mm-hmm. The taxes are continuing to go up. There's homelessness.
Missing children.
We have so much going on.
Yeah.
And we had to just bring up the one topic that has been going on for generations that essentially is not going to change that much.
No, and it should, regardless of what you think about abortion, pro-choice, pro-life or whatever, it really should be situation to situation.
It should be, yeah.
But
that also shouldn't be your deciding factor on a presidential candidate.
No, of course not.
There are a lot of factors that are going to affect our lives over the next 4 years.
But they turned it into more or less the abortion argument into women's rights.
Yeah.
So they made it broader than it really was.
Then they instilled that fear.
Yeah.
You're going to lose your rights as a woman.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You still will have all your regular rights, but abortion might change in your state.
Yeah.
That's what it should have said.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to say what it actually is.
Because they just wanted to slander and throw each other under the bus.
I mean,
it's just like help us understand why
All of it.
It's so fucking necessary. And I'm not even talking about a specific group by this and saying this statement, to go on camera and scream in frustration for the world to see.
Yeah.
Why is that necessary? Do it in your own home. Do it in the bathroom. Put a pillow over your face and scream into it. Why do you need the world to see you're frustrated?
Right.
I don't understand.
Well, it kind of goes into the same thing of wearing the shirt with your opinion and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, but this is more radical, granted.
It is, yeah.
And this is a very outrageous and over the top, and it's just, it doesn't solve anything.
Right.
It just creates. Well, it doesn't even create more problems. It just makes you look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing. I did see a video, and I had to watch it 3 or 4 times because I was like, is she saying what I didn't understand really what she was talking about? It just kind of started out quiet, and she's looking at the camera, and she was like, I've decided today, based on what's happened, that cigarettes don't count. And I even might go get it. I might get a new tattoo today. And I was like, what does that have to? So you get tattoos when you're upset? You get tattoos when you're vindictive?
Right.
You're trying to get back at the man?
Yeah, like you're putting something on yourself.
I didn't understand that. I mean, I would honestly like to talk to her and be like, what did you mean by that? What do you mean cigarettes don't count? So you're just going to smoke a bunch?
You think that's going to really do it?
And then the tattoos, I just don't get it. And then the people on X, man.
It's bad.
I just don't get it.
I mean, and
it must be for clicks. The majority of it must be for clicks.
I don't think so, man. I really don't. I think they see someone else doing it and they go, I'm going to do it too. And it's this movement of, I don't agree with this, so I'm not doing it. This goes back to the conversation that I've already seen people do it, and I'm ready to lose my mind. Not my president.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
But see, that doesn't make me mad. I don't care.
Get the fuck over it.
I know. But see, that one guy, I can't think of his name. I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want to, slander or anything like that. But it was a guy on X. You saw it. I commented on this post.
Oh, yeah.
It said, I don't care what people's excuses were, what's going on. I will not refer to him as President Trump. And I'm just sitting here thinking, are you expecting him to see it?
Right.
And then go sit in his bed and be like, they don't fucking like me. I just don't understand what is he now that kind of post. You're trying to get comments. You're trying to get replies. Yeah. You're trying to get likes and reposts and all that bullshit. What are you saying? I don't care if they call him Possum Trump. He's still going to be the fucking president.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any
honestly,
sense to
we
me.
could elect a Rock as president. A Rock, not the Rock. A Rock.
And
I would still have to go, well, fuck me. I guess a Rock is the president.
No, I think at that point I've been like, I am not calling this Rock president. We're gonna have to.
Well, but at the same time, it's no different when you're in school, when you go somewhere and someone is assigned as your counselor, your teacher. You can't just decide in that moment, you're not my teacher.
Right.
Yeah, they've been assigned, bitch. It was either a vote or they were hired as that.
Yeah.
Guess what, folks?
Yeah.
Even if Harris had won, that's the president. Biden has been the president. Obama has been the president. Bush. It doesn't fucking matter. Your opinion means shit.
Yeah.
The law is the law. They are signed in as president. You just got to make it through the next 4 years.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't understand the anger. It makes me angry.
What I'm still concerned about the potential for violence.
It's already starting.
Either side. But I mean, not like it was last time. Like, I think, like they arrested, didn't they arrest 2 guys that were potentially trying to an assassination attempt?
Something like
that. I mean, that I hate it. I don't want anybody to get hurt, but it's going to get worse, dude.
Well, and see, that's what really, it doesn't put fear in me, but it does make me concerned about our future in the next 4 years. There's women posting on TikTok about if I see a man in an alley, a white man, I'm going to shoot him.
Yeah,
that's a threat. Mm-hmm. You need to be arrested.
Yeah, and people were also saying about him. Did you see that one woman? With I do not condone this. There was one woman who created a TikTok or X or something like that, and she was like, does anybody know how to hire a hitman?
I saw that, yeah.
And she was like, I think if we all put our money together, and I wanted to be like,
yes.
Like, think. And luckily, whoever posted it did, like, tag necessary people because that's a threat against the president.
Yes.
And or the president-elect, I should say.
Anyone.
Right.
That's the problem is why is there such a need to kill your opposition? Someone who disagrees with you. That's the problem. Yeah. People have gotten so weak that they just want the other opinion dead. They don't even want another opinion. I'm not going to call it weakness. I'm just going to call it irrationality.
It's not thinking. You're not thinking
It's a
before you
weakness.
speak. Well,
Because normal, I'm sorry, folks.
there are some
normal
weak
people
Yeah.
don't consider killing the other opinions.
Right, but at the same time, I'm not going to call it weakness because of the passion that they truly do feel. Some of them legitimately do think that they're right and what they're saying makes sense. That to me is not
need help.
weakness. That's a problem. Exactly.
Mental
That's a
health.
problem.
Yes.
I agree. That's a problem. I'm not going to call it weakness because I think if they were weak, they just wouldn't fucking say anything. Well, that's not true. I'm quiet in regards to this kind of stuff. I don't typically
Yeah.
voice my opinion, but and on top of it, to add an extra layer to it, people are alienating their friends and family members
Yes.
because they had people in their family.
Did you see
vote
my post?
differently.
I posted on some guy on X the other day.
I'll have to check. I didn't see
He
it.
said something like, I called my mom and told her, congratulations.
Yeah.
You're going to lose all your Social Security, which, by the way, is incorrect.
It's not true. I
And
know.
he said, and don't come calling me for help when you need help. And hung up on her. His mother.
mom.
Like, I was like, if anyone needs to die, it's someone like that. I would never ask for that to happen.
Right.
I would never push for that. But, like, you're that horrible of a person that
That you're
because
gonna-
a presidential candidate got put in
That you didn't like.
you just would leave your mom to death. That doesn't make sense
No,
to
it
me.
makes no sense. No.
Like it's where's the logic?
There is none.
And
There
by
is
the
no
way, the
logic.
Social Security is if you have disability or pension as well as Social Security, some of that will be reduced through Social Security because you're getting
You can't
two
get
other
both.
forms
Right.
of money. That's reasonable.
Yeah,
I know
that
it's
makes
going to hurt
sense.
some people in some ways, but guess what, folks? It's the way we're living life. I mean, it just
But I mean, I posted, I did something similar on X. Some guy was talking about, he said, I cannot be friends with someone who voted for that man. I don't care what their excuse was and stuff. And all I put in the comment was, I just said, if your political affiliations is enough to end a friendship, then you were never their friend in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
You and me and our other friend Dustin have like a lot of our friendship over the years has been jumping down each other's throats.
Oh, yeah,
and
100%.
arguing about differing opinions because you two have always kind of aligned politically.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of been on the other side up until recently.
Right.
And we used to get in screaming matches.
Oh,
and
yeah.
y'all are still my friends.
Like,
I love y'all both as much as I
folks,
did years ago.
Screaming to the point that if police probably came up, they would probably arrest us. Yeah. We were getting very aggressive.
I don't think we've ever put hands on each other, but we've definitely had screaming matches.
There's been some hands.
In a
Not
van.
like fists, but just grabbing your shirt like
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can have differing opinions, and I don't understand either one of them. But I suppose I can understand losing a friend over it. But your family,
Yeah, that doesn't.
Your family?
Your family, if you were like close to them too, and you're like, I just can't support who they supported. You don't have
They're
to
still your
support them.
family.
They're still family. Go to functions with them. Still be nice. You don't have to just be dead to them. That
Yeah,
doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't make any sense to me.
The logic behind this, and I almost want to like take a step into the alternate universe and see what happened if she would have won, if Harris would have won, to see how people on the right would have reacted. I just want to know: is it everyone? Is everyone losing their fucking shit?
I think only based on history and based on what I've seen. When you have these conversations and when you have these debates with both sides, there is one side that typically seems to raise their voice more and lose their temper and just walk away. So if I had to guess, yes, there would be some outrage and some disappointment and stuff on the right. But would there be these screaming videos and crying videos? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so
I
either.
think they would kind of be pissed off to themselves and they might put up a sign or two.
Yeah,
And
I think a lot of fuck yous would be out there.
Yeah, for
probably.
sure. But I mean,
sure.
I just don't think the reaction will be the same.
No,
I definitely
think so
don't.
either. It's a shame, honestly, people. It's a shame that we've gotten to this point in society.
And the
because
thing-
now you know what I'm thinking about. What's going to happen in 4 years?
I'm thinking about that too, but at the same time, this division that we're fucking talking about needs to fucking stop.
Yes, it's got to stop.
How in the hell are we going to be a country if we can't align on certain things?
We're not. We're
Pardon,
gonna.
excuse me.
Jesus.
Sorry.
We're gonna struggle over the
Yeah.
next 4 years. I really believe that it's gonna be a fight of what do we say? What are we allowed to say? I think there's gonna be a lot more shootings. Honestly, I think there's gonna be a lot more.
I
shootings.
hope to God you're wrong.
There's crimes already increasing. I mean, just from the news of him getting elected,
Yeah.
crime has
Hired.
already started going up. Hired. Stabbings, shootings, like just people. They're going on TikTok, they're screaming, and then they go in their closet and get something and go out and I'm just gonna get people. Like for the love of God, we got to bring back mental asylums. We have to.
And if you're having any of these radical thoughts, I beg you, take 10 seconds and think about it.
Yes.
Just you
Take a breath.
Do not react or do not act solely on your emotions and your reactions. You're going to make a decision that you're going to regret.
Yeah.
That's why I've never been quick to anger, because
know.
people make decisions and do stupid shit when they're mad, and they always regret it. They always regret, well, maybe not all of them, but most of them
anymore nowadays. No.
Well,
but it's just I mean, please get help. It's just. It's not logical. It's completely logical to get mad, frustrated, upset, sad, cry for a few days.
Yeah, for sure.
But to eliminate family members, to eliminate friends, and to say you want people to die, think about those statements.
Yeah, think about what you
said. That's not okay.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form.
The same people that are crying fascism are saying they want people to die.
Yes.
Because of their opinions.
Yeah.
That's kind of fascism.
Think, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pot calling kettle black.
Well, I mean, that's what I've never gotten that either, because even the race thing, I hear more talk of race on that side where they're like, we need to get a white woman sex and race.
Yeah.
We need to get a black person in office. We need to get a Hispanic person. We need to get a woman in office. No. We need to get
the best candidate
in office.
Regardless.
If that happens to be a woman, cool. If that happens to be a black person, awesome. If that happens to be, I mean, just that hypocrisy makes me so confused. I just don't get it.
I know.
I flat out don't understand. Please help us understand. Help us understand. And we honestly mean that. If you're on either side, you are not going to get any anger from us. You're not going to get any kind of, we're not going to be mean or anything like that.
Right.
We just have a differing opinion, and we still want to talk to you. We want to know these things.
I mean, folks, answer this question. All right. You're applying for a job. You get a job, and it's your dream job. I don't know what it is, making cotton candy, making soda cans. I don't know. Whatever your dream job is, right? They're bringing in a new manager that's going to be leading you. There you have Greg, who is a African American man who has no experience, has a lot of willpower, but has some temper tantrum issues. Really, not a huge asset to the company, but he's there. He's applied. Then you get Willie, who's a Hispanic guy. And he comes in with 20 years of experience. He's been a manager before in this role, has no issues other than he likes to be a little bit of a perfectionist. Who would you hire?
Well, who would you accept as your manager?
Who would you accept as your manager?
Right, yeah.
Willie, right? Because he's got the experience, the knowledge, the capabilities, and the willpower to do it.
Right.
The other guy, all because he's a different race, doesn't make him more qualified.
Right.
He had no qualifications.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to break down.
Yeah.
You have to look at the person, not their color.
It has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just the point. If Trump was a black man, he probably still would have been the best decision. For this election. I mean, that kind of stuff needs to stop being talked about.
Yeah.
If racism is going to end, stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's unfortunate, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
All this has been building up over the past couple days.
Yeah, we've been. I mean, it's not. It's stressful seeing how people are reacting. If people weren't reacting,
sad.
And sad too.
Yeah.
If people weren't reacting the way they're reacting, and they were like, you know what, man, fuck that. We just got to make it 4 more years, and just kind of did sad, frustrated videos like that, and we moved on.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
We all do the same thing in different situations.
Right.
But this just unhinged. I'm not going to have sex with another man. I'm not going to look at another man. I'm going to shoot white men like that.
Have you seen the women shaving their head?
Yeah.
I don't get that either.
You know what, though?
I'm
going to say something a little sketchy here.
Okay, take a breath.
I want everyone else to take a breath who's listening. 80% of the people in these videos aren't much to look at.
Dude. Boom.
Sorry. And really, it's more like 100%. But I was trying to be nice.
You're trying to be. Oh, it's good.
But really, it's kind of like, all right. I don't know.
I mean, it just. I don't. Again, I just want. Please explain it to me. If you're shaving your head, okay, that you clearly you're passionate about it, and there's a reason for it,
right?
But why are you shaving your head? Are your hairs
to make you?
Do your hairs affect the economy?
To make me look less attractive, so men don't come after me.
Okay,
most of y'all that are saying this, no one's coming after you in the first place.
I think it's a good time for us to end this week's episode there.
Apologies in advance.
Man.
I mean, just look at yourself in the mirror.
But we still, I mean, we're always in to talk about this kind of stuff, and God knows over the next couple months it's going to continue to get messy.
Yeah.
I hope and pray that nobody gets hurt or gets killed, Everybody needs to stop acting a fool and just look forward to the future, and let's all get through it together.
That's fair.
Yeah.
To cover myself, I don't think highly of myself. I don't consider myself a very attractive person, so I'm allowed to say things like that.
Oh, that's a fair
point. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
I forgot what I was going to say.
You were going to say to help us pod?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We really do want to hear back from everyone. We want to get some kind of feedback from everyone. If you're listening to the podcast, if you're new to it, if you've been listening, if you want to tell us that we're fucking ugly, if you want to tell us that you had our voices or something, we don't care. We want to hear from you guys. Honestly, you can email us at helpuspod@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube at Help Us Understand Podcast. That's our channel name.
Yeah.
And then, what am I getting it so far?
First time you got it all
right.
so
far. Yeah. And then you can also listen to us on all podcast platforms. We're on Spotify, Google Plus, Your Sister's Ass.
Yeah.
Which is not a real one.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It will be someday, probably.
What, Your Sister's Ass?
Yeah.
It's a big deep title?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can check us out on all podcast platforms. We're going to try to get more consistent with us.
Yeah.
Our delivery of podcasts. We know that we're kind of scattered at the moment, but with work and all that kind of shit, it's a little difficult. Yeah. But please, again, helpuspod@gmail.com. Check us out. And we will catch you guys on next week's show.
On Netflix.
On Netflix? No, not yet. Maybe one day. We'll get you guys next week. I was Josh.
I was Zach.
Yeah, bye.